A lone chick in the rainforest new version, featuring a harpy eagle chick, deep within a misty rainforest, where sunlight filtered through layers of emerald leaves and howler monkeys called out like distant thunder. A lone harpy eagle chick named Zephyr was found perched high in the tangled remains of her shattered nest. Her soft juvenile feathers, gray-brown with streaks of pale gold, were matted from the previous night's storm. Her piercing eyes, sharp and dark as obsidian, blinked against the morning light, scanning the forest below for any sign of her parents. She had been tossed from her nest during a violent tempest that swept through the jungle, like a wild bee stripping branches from trees, flooding lowlands, and silencing the usual symphony of chirps and croaks. The moment was captured by a drone surveying environmental damage. When the video surfaced online, people around the world were captivated by Zephyr's fierce gaze and vulnerable stance, an image both heartbreaking and awe-inspiring. Left alone in the canopy, Zephyr faced the perilous future nights without her mother's warmth, lurking dangers like snakes and rival raptors, and no way to hunt or survive on her own. Time was not on her side, but fate intervened when wildlife rescuers discovered her there, clinging to survival. Days turned into nights, and hope began to dwindle as Zephyr waited patiently for her parents who never returned. After 4 long days, she was still there, holding on bravely. But her ordeal had taken a toll. She was noticeably weaker, her cries more desperate. It was clear she needed help, and fast. On the 5th day, a brave team of wildlife rescuers set out to find her. Carefully navigating muddy trails and climbing into the upper levels of the forest, they made their way to the tree where she was spotted. As they approached, they moved slowly, softly, mimicking the calls of adult harpy eagles to try and calm her. Approaching slowly, they managed to get close enough to see her better. It was hard to believe that such a powerful predator could be so vulnerable. But Zephyr's situation was critical. If they couldn't reach her soon, her chances of survival would diminish even further. But how could they bring her down from that tree without harming her? The answer came in the form of patience and a well-placed trap. Using all their skill and experience, they secured a trap and then waited, hoping against hope that Zephyr would come down. It was a risky strategy, but one that could bring this tiny eagle back to safety. Hours passed, and the team's hope began to fade. Just when they were about to give up, they saw Zephyr descend, drawn by the promise of food laid out in the trap. As she landed, the trap door closed gently, and the rescuers held their breath. In the next moment, Zephyr stood inside the trap, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and anticipation. For a brief moment, she hesitated, unsure what to do next. But the rescuers knew they had only seconds to get her into the transport crate before she changed her mind. Working quickly and carefully, they coaxed her inside with soft voices and gentle movements. Once inside, they closed the door, and the trap was lifted into the air. Slowly but surely, they transported her down from the treetops, all the while monitoring her every move. As they descended, Zephyr let out a high-pitched cry, a haunting sound that echoed through the trees and across the internet, touching hearts and sparking conversations about the fragile lives hidden in the wild. Finally, she was in the waiting crate, safe and secure. Her ordeal was far from over, but thanks to the quick reactions of the rescue team, she had a chance. Lifting the heavy crate down from the tree, the team felt a mixture of relief and excitement. They had braved the elements, risked their own safety, and navigated treacherous terrain to save this bird. And now they carried her down from the treetops, down to safety. Zephyr's journey was far from over, but for now, she was safe in the hands of the rescuers. Arriving at the Emerald Canopy Wildlife Sanctuary, nestled beneath a canopy of ancient trees and alive with birdsong, Zephyr began her recovery under the watchful eyes of dedicated caregivers. At first, she was weak and scared, the trauma of her ordeal evident in her every move. But as the days passed, the sanctuary's staff worked tirelessly to nurse her back to health. Her enclosure was designed to mimic her natural habitat in the high forest canopy. Tall perches, hanging vines, and moving toys that encouraged her to chase and dive created an environment that felt like home. For weeks, caregivers nurtured her with a diet rich in proteins, small mammals, and birds to help her regain strength and grow the powerful muscles Harpy eagles are known for. Every drop of food and every bit of care brought her closer to recovery. But it wasn't just about feeding her and making sure she was comfortable. It was also about engaging with her, getting her used to human interaction, knowing that one day she would need to be released back into the wild. This meant gentle handling, speaking to her in soothing voices, and creating a bond that would help her trust humans again. Days turned into weeks, and Zephyr's transformation was remarkable. Under the constant care of the sanctuary staff, she regained her strength, her spirit, and most importantly, her confidence. The once frightened chick was now a majestic young eagle, ready to face the challenges of the wild. Her progress wasn't always smooth. There were setbacks and challenges along the way. But with each hurdle she overcame, whether physical or emotional, Zephyr grew stronger and more resilient. The sanctuary staff celebrated every milestone, her first full flight, her first successful strike at a practice target, and finally, her sharp, commanding call, a sound that brought pride and joy to thousands watching her journey unfold. But it wasn't just Zephyr who benefited from the sanctuary's work. Each story like hers raises awareness about the threats facing wildlife in the Amazon rainforest and inspires action to protect these magnificent creatures and their habitats. By sharing Zephyr's story, the sanctuary aims to educate, to inspire, and to empower people to make a difference in the lives of these incredible animals. As Zephyr thrived at the sanctuary, she became more than just a rescued chick. She became a symbol of power and resilience, showing how even the fiercest creatures can start small and still rise to the skies. Her journey touched the hearts of thousands, reminding us all that even in the darkest times, hope can soar like a mighty eagle. After months of intensive care and training, the day finally arrived when Zephyr was deemed fit to return to her natural habitat. The team was overjoyed, yet knew that releasing her into the wild was bittersweet. On the morning of her release, the sky glowed with the colors of dawn, amber, rose, and gold. A team of conservationists traveled deep into the heart of the Amazon Rainforest Reserve, where the air was thick with life and the earth pulsed with an ancient rhythm. They arrived at a secluded clearing surrounded by towering ceiba trees, where the scent of damp earth filled the air and cicadas hummed like a welcome song. With careful hands, they opened the transport crate. Zephyr stepped forward cautiously, pausing to glance back at the humans who had saved her. Then, as if remembering something deep in her instincts, she spread her massive wings and launched into the air. With every powerful flap, she soared higher, vanishing into the green embrace of the jungle canopy, returning to the wild where she belonged. Releasing Zephyr wasn't just about setting a majestic creature free. It was about preserving the very essence of the rainforest itself. Each species plays a vital role in the intricate web of life, and Zephyr's return was a testament to the power of conservation efforts. As she flew away, the team felt a profound sense of accomplishment, knowing that they had played a part in ensuring the survival of a magnificent creature and the ecosystem it called home. In saving Zephyr, we didn't just save a harpy eagle. We helped preserve the heartbeat of the rainforest itself. And in protecting these wild places, we ensure a future where nature still sings its ancient song.